everyone. My name is Showkan from Saudi Arabia. I'm doing a PhD in mental health in Australia and under supervision of Associate Professor Janet Curtis, who is with us today, and Miss Yvonne White. My study is a part of my PhD thesis, and it will be about does the quality of life of Saudi Arabian men and women with schizophrenia differ? In this presentation, I will talk about introduction, research aim, literature review, method, result, discussion, and conclusion. Introduction, I attach with this slide some picture from my country, Saudi Arabia, so you can enjoy while the presentation. Saudi Arabia is the largest country in the Middle East Saudi Arabia is the largest country in the Middle East and one of the world's largest country in the exporter of the oil and petroleum. The population of Saudi Arabia is estimated about 25 million. The main religion in Saudi Arabia is Islam and the official language is Arabic. In Saudi Arabia, there is the traditional gender role and sexual separation. The extended family system is the norm and family social support system. Schizophrenia is a devastating mental illness. In Saudi Arabia, it is estimated that 22.4% of the new mental health services outpatient were diagnosed with schizophrenia, schizotypal and delusional disorder. Schizophrenia is a clinical syndrome that affects individual cognition, perception, emotion, and many other features that affect many aspects of individual life. The quality of life is a new concept. While the quality of life concept is well supported in the literature, there is no single unanimously definition for it. Some of the researchers identify the quality of life as love, happiness, peace, but the problem arises when it tries to formally identify it. And maybe there is a need for many definitions for the quality of life based on the population under study, stage of illness, treatment, and also quality of life is a dynamic construct that changes from time to time and from individual to individual. The research aim, the primary aim of the current study is to investigate the effect of gender on the perception of the quality of life among people with schizophrenia in Saudi Arabia. Literature review, extensive literature review were undertaken and only 2 articles were found related to the current study. First study were undertaken by Van Daver at 1998 and studied the effect of gender in the quality of life among 66 men and 36 women with schizophrenia through the use of the quality of life interview in 3 countries, Canada, Cuba, and United States. The result of the study, they found that Canadian women reported higher quality of life in the area of the relationship and the opposite were in Cuba. The visible rationale for the Cuban women have low quality of life in the area of social relationship is that Cuban women being constrained by the multiple rule of being housewife, caregiver, and worker. The second study were undertaken by Exing et al. At 2010, and they studied the quality of life of 251 men and 254 women through the use of the World Health Organization Quality of Life Schedule. In Hong Kong and Beijing, China, the results show that women reported low score in the physical aspect of a quality of life. The visible rationale for that is Chinese women with schizophrenia were faced severe discrimination in the Chinese culture. Research method, in order to undertake this study, ethical approval were granted from the University of Wollongong, a human ethics committee, and from the manager of the King Fahd Hospital University at Saudi Arabia. The total number of the participants were 159 outpatient with schizophrenia who received treatment at the King Fahd Hospital University in Saudi Arabia. Inclusion criteria were being Saudi citizen, aged between 18 to 65, and diagnosed with schizophrenia according to the DSM-4 and identified to be clinically stable. Procedure and measure. This study used a researcher-administered questionnaire, which is Lancashire Quality of Life Profile, European version, which is a well-known and widely used instrument to measure the quality of life among people with schizophrenia and mental illness. It's composed of 105 items and contain personal characteristic, subjective quality of life indicator, and objective quality of life indicator. The objective quality of life is being assessed through yes-no questions, and the subjective is being assessed through a 7-point Likert scale, which range from 1 cannot be worse to 7 cannot be better. And in order to use the Lancashire Quality of Life Profile, permission were undertaken from the Royal College of Psychiatrists, and the Arabic translation were undertaken from the Royal College of Psychiatrists. Data analysis, we follow the Lancashire Quality of Life Profile to compute the 9 subjective domain, and then we enter the data in the SPSS program, version 17. Basic descriptive statistics such as frequency, mean, standard deviation were used to summarize data, and ordinal regression were used to investigate the relationship between gender and the quality of life. This table shows the socio-demographic characteristic of the participant. In general, the total participants were 159 outpatients with schizophrenia. The majority of them were male, unemployed, married, and completed their secondary school with the mean age of 38.23. This table shows the relationship between gender and the quality of life. It shows the ordinal regression analysis for the relationship between gender and the quality of life. From the observed p-value, we found that female, Saudi Arabian female in the current study reported low quality of life in the area of work, family relations, social relations, and health. Discussion, women in the current study were reported poor quality of life in the area of work, education, family relationship, social relationship, and health domain than men. These findings are in agreement with the previous study, which undertaken by Shan and Yu, and inconsistent with previous Western studies. The differences in perception of a quality of life between men and women in Saudi Arabia can be explained by cultural-related factors. In Saudi Arabia, women are required a male relative approval in order to travel, to seek job, education, going out in public, or issuing identity card or passport. And women are forbidden to drive because a male relative are expected to drive them to segregated hospital and school. Therefore, it's difficult for women to accept a job that is far away from their families. In addition, another problem that faces Saudi Arabian women is male polygamy, arranged marriage, and early teenager marriages. Previous studies shows that women in monogamous marriages reported more severe psychosocial distress, more problem in family functioning, and more problem in marital relationship. And all those problems may affect women's perception of their quality of life. There is a number of limitations for the current study, which include, firstly, the study focused in people with schizophrenia who were in stable condition, and therefore the result may be not generalizable for all patients with schizophrenia who are in severe psychotic symptoms. In addition, this study focused only in one single hospital. Therefore, the result cannot be generalized to all people with schizophrenia in other Saudi region. And finally, this study is cross-sectional in design. Therefore, it might be not sensitive to change over time. Finally, the implication of the current study, women face cultural restriction in Arabic world and particularly in Saudi Arabia. Therefore, it's important to argue for mental health focused services that cater for women only. Such services has been implemented in Australia and Canada, and shows a good result. These are references.